Hey everyone, welcome to the Gaming X. Today we're going to be taking a look at Save the Ninja Clan on the Nintendo Switch. Now this is the latest in a long line of ultra difficult precision platformers, but can it stand up to the greats like Super Meat Boy and The Binding of Isaac? Let's find out. So before we do get started, if you are new here, then consider hitting subscribe for all the latest reviews and news on the Nintendo Switch. We truly appreciate all the support the YouTube community has given us, and we'd love to see you join us. So let's start with graphics, and this is a decent looking game, especially for a budget title priced at only $3.99. Here they've smartly went for a very low detailed and cartoonish look. It uses colours nicely to exaggerate the environments and obstacles in your way. Everything you need to recognise on screen, it works absolutely fine, and the hand drawn nature, it occasionally felt, for me at least, almost Scribblenauts-esque, and that's definitely not something I'm complaining about. Now, it's in no way going to push your Switch to the limits, but it does everything it needs to, mixing up the variety enough that you won't ever notice too much repetition, and it's all topped off with some really nice visual animations, from environmental lightning strikes through to the flips and the movement of your character. So gameplay and the bulk of this review. So the game, it's based over 3 worlds for a total of 30 levels and 3 individual boss fights. The mechanics, as always with these precision platformers, they're simple. It's the execution of said moves where the challenge is faced. Now you'll initially be equipped with double jump and a wall cling that's not dissimilar to N+ for those that played that one. Then additionally you will pick up a speed increase option and a teleport mode. Now when it does come to the controls, be aware that you will only be able to equip one at any given time, but as you do progress through these side-scrolling levels, there's going to be pickups that will allow you to make changes on the fly. So alongside these core mechanics then, obstacles in the environment will be used for movement as well. Basically, not everything here is out to kill you. You'll find springs where you can bounce, and a particular favourite of mine, fans where you can fly across the environment. The game's made an attempt to add a little bit more than the typical just hold your breath and avoid anything sharp or that moves. Of course though, the majority of the obstacles, they will kill you, and these include things from laser guns, missiles, the genre standard spikes and big ass spinning blades, and lots of them at that, and then there's even some enemies walking around who will succumb to your ninja stars. Just be aware, they'll be firing back. So when it comes to the controls themselves, I'll say this, they worked fine. I did face a few moments, I will say, where they just didn't quite provide the accuracy I needed, and I felt a little cheated, but these moments, they were few and far between. It was when I had to make those minute adjustments, it just didn't quite match up to what I was necessarily going for. With that being said though, generally, I've got to say it's not bad at all. Then let's talk about the 3 boss fights where you will save one ninja. Now I didn't mention story because, well, the title says it all, Save the Ninja Clan, and that's what these boss fights are designed to do. At the end of each you'll find and save a different ninja. These are largely, however, pursuit based as you progress from basically one pain in the ass platform section to another. They work, but they will provide some frustration. Boss reactions, they're unpredictable, which is not necessarily a bad thing, but on one occasion a boss got stuck and blocked my route entirely. They just felt slightly less skill based and more about rushing and praying and hoping for the best. Overall, this is the weakest part of the gameplay, but I will say this, it could be a nice addition for those into speedruns, because essentially that's what it is. My final comment on gameplay is this. When compared to Meat Boy or Binding of Isaac, this is more side-scrolling than self-contained screens, and it does a nice job of adding its own twist to the genre with some fun elements, especially for such a low price point. Finally, audio, and again, it's decent, as with the rest of the title. When it comes to music, it's going to start off somber, but it quickly turns into high-speed chiptune or electronic music. Unfortunately though, it changes from level to level. It's always nice to see this because they could have easily sat back with just one theme from each world to the next, so they've clearly put some effort in here. When it comes to sound effects, I will say they are hit and miss. First of all, there's a lot in here, which is again great to see. It's just some of them, they don't sound quite right, or they simply, at least for me personally, they grated with me. The footsteps constantly are just simply unnecessary. The springs, they sound like button presses, and some of the jump sounds and the death sounds when you hit the bottom of the screen, they just don't sound quite right. They're just simply like bleeps. Then though, you've got the good, the walkling, the death splats against blades, they're as gruesome as you would expect, and there's some nice environmental effects too, background noises such as thunder. What I'm saying here is these are 50-50. Unfortunately though, and this is my final point, they're so high in the sound mix, the volume is so high above that music, that you won't be able to avoid noticing the 50% of sound effects that are bad. So the final verdict, and one thing I haven't actually touched on yet, is this: you will die a lot, over and over again in fact. It's a trait of the genre, and like Alteryx before it on the Switch, this is a budget option into the precision platforming genre, one that at least though adds its own twist. There's a lot to like here: the side-scrolling instead of self-contained screens, some really nice environmental design and character animation overall, and then a decent soundtrack and a control scheme that, well, largely works. But then the bad, it has some frustrating boss design that don't really keep with the idea. It forces a different style of play, which it just, well, yeah, it feels out of place at times. And then sound effects can really start to get annoying. With that being said though, this title, it's not bad at all. It's in no way up to Meat Boy, Binding of Isaac, or The End is Nigh, but few are, and this is only $3.99, a big difference from the $30 price point of the kings of the genre. For those who maybe completed the greats and simply want more, this is a decent choice. Then there's those people that are unsure they would even like the genre. I would suggest this one over Alteryx honestly, and you can check out my review for that one over on the channel. But for those that are unsure about the genre, they've never tried it, on the back of this $3.99 purchase, you may find a love for a genre you never knew you had, and that's an entry point to the Meat Boy and The End is Nigh purchases. Basically, you'll be opening a door to some of the best platforming you will ever experience, and this is your way in. Not bad for the price of a cup of coffee. The Gaming X awards Save the Ninja Clan a solid 7 out of 10. Thanks so much for watching, I really do appreciate it. Let me know in the comments below what do you think, and let me know what's your favourite of the precision platforming genre. For me, I think it's actually The End is Nigh. That being said, thanks so much for watching. If you are new here, consider hitting subscribe. We truly do appreciate the support as we continue to grow, and we'll see you on the next Gaming X.